management at USC. I did my undergrad in electronics and telecommunication in University of Mumbai. After that, I did I have work experience of over 4 years in sales and marketing in Siemens. So I was a sales and business development professional in Siemens for like 4 years. And then I thought that, I actually wanted to switch my career path from marketing to supply chain. That is why I'm here to pursue the master's in engineering management, but my track would be supply chain and operations. Yeah.
Very good. Lavanya, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. So hi guys, it's really nice to meet you. It was not long before I was attending the same session and I started my journey here. But so I'm Lavanya. I'm from Bangalore in India, and I did my undergrad in NMIT in computer science. I have around 3 years of work experience as a software engineer at HSBC, after which I decided that I still need to hone my technical skill sets. So I decided to come here and pursue my master's in computer science. So this has been my first, it's my first semester here. I joined in spring, and yeah, it's been pretty good so far. So it's really great that I get to talk to you guys about it. Yeah.
Thank you, Lavanya. Aayush, so for the audience, Aayush Khator actually reached out to me this morning saying that he was in Mumbai. And since, everybody knows Aayush and finds that he is so helpful, I invited him to join the panel as well. So Aayush, introduce yourself.
Sure. Thank you for that. So hi, everyone. I am Aayush. I joined USC in spring of 21. So about to graduate in December. And yeah, I'm in India currently. So if anybody is in Mumbai, maybe we can do it.
Okay, very good. And Swarnita, you're next.
Hello, everyone. My name is Swarna Venkatravan, and I'm currently pursuing my master's in applied data science here at USC. I started in fall 2021, and right now I'm in my second semester. I have completed my bachelor's degree in electronics and telecommunication engineering from NMIMS Mukesh Patel School of Technology Management and Engineering in Mumbai in 2020. And we had kind of electives that were relevant to my current master's degree, that is applied data science, which kind of made me gravitate towards pursuing a master's and a career further down the line in data science. So, which is why I'm here to pursue my master's. And I'm super stoked to be on this panel today because as Lavanya mentioned, not long ago, we were also on the other side. And it's just really great to be here and help all you guys out with your questions.
Thank you. So, audience, if you have access to claps, please give all of the panelists a shout out, because they are very, very busy right now and they have taken a lot of time. And more importantly, they got up really early to be part of this panel. So, definitely a lot of thanks go to them. Thank you so much for being here. So, Lavanya, I'm going to ask you the first question, and that is, why did you choose to come to USC? What was your rationale?
Okay, sure. So I decided that I want to pursue my master's in computer science itself. And when I was doing my research, I looked through the programs, I looked through the universities, and my personal goal was to always come to a reputed university, just because I believe that when you're spending as much as you are for an education, I'd like it to be one of the best. So that's when I saw that the computer science program here is still one of the top 10. It's extremely reputed with one of the best professors. So when I saw that, I didn't think twice. It was one of my most preferred choices, which is why I chose it over some other admits I got as well. And I did decide. So once I got my admit to spring, I chose it over a few other universities like Northeastern and University of Arizona and a few others. So just purely out of the coursework as well as the program itself. And another thing that I really like about USC is the Alumni Network. It's extremely vast and it's so useful, because I think when you come here, it's when you realize that there are people like you, and they'll help you with your career goals. and it's very useful to know that you are your university is well connected in the industry, especially if you want to gain some industrial experience as well. So apart from that, I just think that the activities in USC is just extremely engaging. I love getting involved in all the extracurricular activities, and when I saw that the size of the organizations and the activities that happen, it just really enthralled me. And I'm not going to lie, Ayush's videos made them look extremely exciting as well. So I did a lot of research by going through his videos and seeing how the lifestyle is and how whether it would fit for me. So yeah, this is overall a reason as to why I chose USC itself. So that's all it is.
Thank you, Lavanya. Swarnita, the next question is for you. So how has the experience been at USC Viterbi so far?
Sure. So firstly, I would like to touch upon the fact that the practical hands-on nature of the coursework for me personally in applied data science has been really interesting and engaging, because it is so different from what I was doing back in India in my undergrad. And this is what I feel is important to join the industry, because these are all industry relevant skills that we are learning, and the assignments are pretty well designed, and the professors are so helpful, and they are very easy to reach out to, and even the teaching team who handle all the assignments and everything. So for me, being able to learn through practical hands-on work has definitely been very rewarding so far. And secondly, for me, I think already Lavanya touched upon this point, but the strong alumni network, I think not just before coming here, but even after coming here, like during my internship search and job search, I believe that they are extremely helpful and extremely up for getting on a call. Like you just reach out to them on LinkedIn, or we also have a Viterbi link platform that USC Viterbi has, where you can connect with alumni who are in the industry, who are in top positions. So the strong Trojan spirit and the strong Trojan family is really, it's really been helpful for me so far. And I think, these two things definitely have been the most rewarding for me throughout my journey at USC so far.
Okay, thank you so much. Kiran, the next question is for you. And you're an engineering management student, so I'm kind of going to give the ROI question that students ask all the time. So do you feel it is worth it to come spend 70 lakhs or whatever and come to USC? Is the return on investment, I guess maybe you don't know yet, but you must have done your research, you must have seen seniors. So is it worth it? What was your thought process?
Thank you so much for the question. Before I start answering my question, if you guys are wondering which college I went to, I just said University of Mumbai. I went to Sardar Patel Institute of Technology. I'm so used to just saying University of Mumbai. And I came here in fall 2021. So I'll be graduating spring 2023. Yeah, so those two things I missed. To answer the question, I mean, I think almost everyone on this event is wondering, if you get an admit to USC, is it really worth it to spend so much? I would say definitely yes, because if I'll just make it easier for you guys. I mean, to complete your program here, you will have to finish somewhere between 28 to 32 credits. Each credit is like $2,200. You would end up by the end of your program, you would end up spending like some $70K. And if you have an on-campus job in here, I think your living expenses are pretty much sorted. In fact, you would save some. And after you're done with your also the internships, if you get an internship, which I highly recommend, get an internship, and it's not a difficult task to get internships, get started early on. I think you should be able to recoup the cost that you pay in USC. And it's definitely worth coming to USC, because as all of the panelists mentioned here, that USC has one of the greatest alumni networks. And it has the advantage of a location of being closest to the Silicon Valley. We have a greatest career center, I would say. We have a greatest career fairs. I remember going to a career fair this semester. We had like tremendous number of companies that came to USC. So if you think that job opportunities, if you look at the job opportunities, it's definitely there. And I think if you get a job, you should be able to recoup the cost you pay in USC in probably a 1.5 month or a year or two. So yeah, I would say definitely worth it to choose USC. Also the location. I mean, if you're not a cold person, definitely come to USC, which I'm not.
Thank you. All right, Aayush. The question to you is, you must have looked into the cost factor and how has it been working out for you? And you must have talked to seniors. How long is it taking for them to pay off their loans?
Yeah. So I'll give the exact numbers of my situation. First, I am in CS General. So it is 28 units. I have covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 courses. So only one more course is remaining. And 6 courses plus 1 year of staying at LA. Approximate loan that I've picked up till now is around 25 to 30 lakhs. On paper, it looks like $60K or around 1 CR. But because I had on-campus job working 20 hours, I was able to offset a lot of my, living expenses and basic stuff of basic buying stuff and living in LA. To add on that, I do not cook. I mostly eat outside. So it was always on a higher side. So the people who are concerned about the big amount that they see on I-20, trust me, if you get an on-campus job, which everybody does after a month or maximum a semester, it's very easy to, cover the entire course, education in a very less amount of money. So I never imagined I would only take 25 lakhs of loan, and I have just 1 semester left, which I'm pretty sure I will be able to pay from my internship salary. Now, talking about average scenario, people usually pay within a year or let's say maximum 1.5 years, because we also get joining bonus when we join a company. If we take internship, we get relocation bonuses. So cost should be there, but if planned correctly, it should not be the highest priority.
Thank you, Aayush. Lavanya, in terms of the coursework at USC, has it been, you have friends in other universities and, can you guys talk about the coursework? Does that make a difference?
Yeah, okay, so sure. So I think one of the things with the coursework here is that you get to choose certain courses that are theoretical and certain are generally like industrial oriented, and you get to work on some practical assignments. But so far, since it's my first semester, I have taken up algorithms and database systems. Both the courses are extremely intensive. They give you a comprehensive view of what you need to know. And with DB, you also get to do some fun assignments as well, which helps you understand the concepts better. And this is something that I looked into before coming here as well. The syllabus is pretty vast, and the professors here also make sure that they give you enough assignments, and the TAs are there to help you just to make you understand each concept before moving to the next. So from that point of view, I think it covers everything. And it's not just something that is outdated as such, because we have a lot of courses and that are offered that change every year as well, based on the relevant tech stack and the relevant technologies that it keeps updating as well, especially with computer science. So yeah, I mean, so far I've really liked the coursework that's here, and I'm looking forward to more courses that I'm going to be taking up. But so far I've really liked it. Yeah.
Okay. Swarnita, the next question is for you. How do you manage courses and on-campus job? What kind of on-campus job are you doing currently?
Okay, so currently I am doing this job. I work as a student ambassador for the Viterbi admissions and student engagement office. where my responsibilities include interacting with prospective students and admitted students like all of you on this platform called Unibuddy, and also represent USC at events that are happening on campus, and talking to prospective students and parents about student life here and solving your doubts. And the second on-campus job that I have this semester is I'm working as a grader for this course called the SEI 510, which is programming for Python. So these are the two jobs that I have. And as far as managing coursework along with on-campus jobs go, I believe that if you can set some time aside during your day for this particular work, it will be really easy to manage, because you cannot be studying the entire day. You cannot be attending classes the entire day. Classes happen only like 2 or 3 days maximum in the week. So you do have time to, manage these things as well. And especially for me, these are the kind of jobs where I also get to work on my own soft skills. Like, for example, this job that I'm doing, I get to interact, I get to talk, I get to communicate better, right? So I'm also growing as a person, apart from just, doing this job for covering my expenses, right? So I believe that these things really add on. And even as a grader, I get to go to the lab, interact with students, and talk to them, and maybe like talk to them during the lab, during office hours. So I believe that managing it shouldn't be difficult, because you also need to do something outside of your coursework to keep yourself balanced.
Okay, thank you. Next question is for Aayush. Aayush, the computer science class size tend to be large. How has that worked out for you? Has it been a big problem? What has your experience been?
It was never a problem because we have.
Can you increase your volume just a little bit, Aayush?
Louder?
Yeah.
Let me try and change the microphones.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. That's fine. Just speak up a little bit more. It's not so bad though. Go ahead.
So I was saying the class size was never a problem, because if a class is like 300 people, we have equivalent ratio of TAs and post producers to have. On top of that, because the class size is huge, our alumni network is great. I look at it as an advantage. More people will graduate, the alumni will become, the network will become stronger. So I think it's an advantage, but it's our responsibility to reach out to TA and communicate with professors if we are stuck somewhere. It is not like India that, they are more responsible than us, but it's vice versa.
So once you graduate, Kiran, are you ready to solve real world problems? That was one of the questions that one of the students had.
Oh, that's a great question. I would say the beauty of USC's curriculum or coursework is that it is up to date with the market, and it prepares you for the challenges that you would face after you graduate. Also, you get to choose. So if I talk particularly about my course, that's engineering management, you get to choose your own custom track. So you can choose the courses you would like to take wherein your interest lies. So so I feel that the coursework is pretty much up to date, and it's like Swarnita said, that the hands-on experience and the application-based courses that you take are really going to help you after you graduate. In fact, one of the courses that I take in supply chain is enterprise-wide information systems. It basically teach me how to work on SAP, and SAP is one of the important tools in supply chain. So I think you'll pretty much be there when you are graduating and when you're ready to go there and work.
So I think Swarnita kind of talked about the coursework in applied data science, and you talked about engineering management. Maybe Lavanya, you've only taken 2 courses, but Aayush, you've taken a lot more coursework by now. How does the coursework make you industry ready?
Okay, so I'll give an example. I took web technologies. It gave me a very good experience. Plus, because it was a project-oriented course, we had to build a website, a web application, Android application in a duration of a semester. So it gave me a real-world challenge that if I be a front-end developer, how my life would look like. The next class which I took is system security. It helped me understand how to deal with the security complex of the tech stack. So, like a person who knows what to work as, or what they wanted to, like for example, a person knows what they're looking for. If they take that particular classes, I would say 80% of them are very much aligned with the industry. There are a few theory-based classes. If you want theory pieces, then you can go take that.
Yeah. For those of the students who want to go in for a PhD, they have that kind of coursework as well. But a lot of the coursework is very current, and we do have an industrial affiliate program. So there are people who are advising the dean, the department chairs about what is relevant to industry. And if it makes sense and it's academically rigorous, we will fold it into the syllabus fairly quickly. As a private university, I think that is something that we are able to do very fast, and then go through the process of adding it into in a formal way into our make the curriculum changes and make it go through curriculum committees and so on. So we have an ability to really make the coursework very, very relevant. And that is something that we hear from many of the companies that come and recruit on campus. And that's the reason why they come over and over again. Now, I'm going to ask you another question, Aayush, only because I know that there'll be a lot of computer science students, and since you've have a lot more coursework under your belt. Now, when there is a large computer science cohort, the competition, Swarnita, you can jump in at the end as well. The competition for jobs also may be high. How does that work?
I look at it in a different way. We are in California. It is the hub and Mecca Medina of tech jobs. So number of jobs is not limited for sure. The competition is good. That is the reason, people sit together, study, at times help each other in interviews in different ways. So it definitely helps. Having said that, in India, companies come to colleges to recruit people. But in US, we go to company, we sell ourselves, and then if we are a good fit, we are called for an interview, and then it all depends on the interview process. So networking is more important, because I'll repeat again, the class size is huge, alums are great, networking becomes a tide easier in USC.
Swarnita, you want to add something to that?
Yeah, so I want to add over here that it's very important to also stand out from the crowd, because that is one more reason why I chose USC in that sense, because the program, at least my program, Applied Data Science, we have 3 core courses that are very relevant to data science, and at the same time we have an option to take 5 different electives. So I believe that in other universities where there is like a structured program, right? You have fixed courses of 8 courses that you have to take to graduate. All the students are going to be doing the same courses. All the students are going to be doing the same assignments, the same projects. So, how do you stand out when all of y'all are applying to the same kind of jobs? You all have the same coursework in your resume and same projects. So how do you stand out? I believe that over here at USC, I get to take electives and make my own paths, make my own program of sorts based on my interests and my future career goals. And I believe that that really helps in standing out when it comes to applying to jobs. And as far as the competition goes, definitely, as Aayush mentioned, networking is very, very important. And if you have relevant work experience, it also really helps in getting access to interviews. So yeah, I feel like people should really concentrate on the networking aspect from early on in their program.
Thank you. Kiran, how competitive is it to get internships at USC?
I would say it is really competitive because if I was from his computer science, I would say definitely competitive because you have many students in computer science. But when it comes to engineering management or supply chain in general, I would say there is like Ayush said that companies don't come to us, we have to go to the company. And each company receives like 200, like easily like 500 to 600 applications. So when it comes to standing out, like Swarnita said, definitely do that. Make sure you make sure you exploit the resources at USC, because there is a way for you when you come here to build your skills. Not only your coursework is going to help you to get there, but also the skills that you build throughout your journey in USC. Make sure you sit with Career Center. We have like really great resume workshops they conduct. So even if you have a great background, you are a great candidate, but it should reflect on your resume as well. It should reflect on how you answer your questions in the interviews. So make sure you prepare for that when you get here, and I think you should be good then. Even though it's competitive, I think you should be able to stand out. Also, USC has a brand name, so it's definitely going to help you stand out. Yeah.
Okay. So Lavanya, while you were coming to USC, I guess you met with a lot of students. You must have seen students who are graduating. Are you seeing students who are not getting jobs or are struggling and graduating without finding jobs?
So far from my interactions, people who are in their last semester, or like even the ones who are just in the second year itself, have all secured internships, and they have when you see it, you also feel like, okay, so this is something that is possible, and it's very encouraging. I have seen a few people who are still in the process of securing good internships, but that's either only because they have a particular job description in mind or a particular goal to achieve, so they're just waiting out for better options. But I have also seen people who are stressed with the coursework, and that's something that I'm also aware of. So I mean, one thing that I would suggest to everybody is that don't waste time once you come here. Like just make, like Kiran said, make the most of the resources you have and just start from day one, because you're not going to, I mean, it's a guaranteed internship or a job if you just put the hard work into it. So at least that's what I've been told. My journey is yet to begin in that aspect, but but I have seen both the sides of the spectrum. But overall, I think most of it has been positive. Everyone I know is like free and happy and relaxed once they secure their internships and their masters. So yeah.
Yeah, I think this is something that we see from students all the time around, till they find an internship or so, they're very stressed, but then afterwards things get easier.
That's right.
All right. So now I'm going to move on to questions about, when is it a good time to arrive for the fall 22 semester? When did you arrive? When you came to USC, Lavanya?
So I arrived in December.
Because you started in the spring. Who among you? Yeah. So who here started in the fall? And
I
okay.
I did.
Okay. Yeah. So Swarnita, go ahead then.
Yeah, sure. So I arrived in the first week of August, and my classes were about to start on 23rd August in 21. So I believe that it definitely gives you a head start to arrive like a couple of weeks or 3 weeks even earlier, because getting used to your area, like your house and apartment area, and getting to know grocery stores around and visiting the campus, and attending. There are also a lot of events that happen before college starts. USC does a lot of events. So going there, meeting people, interacting with them. I think I also attended an event where I met Aayush as well during the beginning of the semester. So there are also these impromptu events that, like the Indian students organize. They kind of meet up. So you go to these places, you talk to different people, you get to know about courses and how to like go about your first week of classes, how to register, and you also have some formalities to complete, like passport verification and some forms to fill with USC. So I believe that it definitely will give you a head start to arrive say in the first week of August if your classes are about to begin in the last week.
Okay. Aayush, you want to talk a little bit and just give students a little advice about housing and how they should be looking into it. And you can also give the link to your videos for the students as well.
Sure. I just answered a question on the chat as well.
Mm-hmm.
So first important thing, always take a house within the DPS zone. Okay. What is this DPS zone? It's a zone where USC police patrol and kind of make a safe place for us. Even in the DPS zone, try to take towards the north of the campus, not the west side. West is cheap, but it's a bit shady, to say the least. On the north side, you have multiple, management system over here, like CDI, we have Palisades, City Park, Stuo. There are multiple places. So you reach out to them, but they will give you the present rate. The best way is to find houses from Facebook group. Because, see, understand, these students want to sublease our place or transfer a lease before we leave. Students in India want to find a place. The only platform is Facebook groups. If we are patient and if we check the group regularly, you will definitely get a good deal. Lavanya and Swarnita can, say it's a bit different. And you can check this out. It's something like using Google Maps, you can actually see the location if it is genuine or not. Because on Facebook group, there are some scammers which you should avoid. I think, yeah.
All right. Any of you want to say anything else about housing? What is actually, there's a lot of interest in on-campus housing. Has anybody taken on-campus housing? No.
No. But yeah, there is if you just search USC on-campus housing, you will find the application link. There is a particular building which is comparatively cheaper, around $700-ish per spot.
Troy East.
Troy East. Okay.
Yeah, Troy.
It is not exactly on campus. So USC has some affiliation with few buildings, which is not on campus, but within the DPS zone. Right? So they're similar to Palisades, City Park, or any other place. But if you want that spot, you have to apply early. So just keep a deadline, just check it out and fill the application. Yeah.
Okay. So Aayush Bharadwaj asks, how do you get responses from landlords? I've tried reaching out to a few and I didn't get replies.
I would say try to reach out to them on email, because either if you have Skype, just Skype them if they're available on interactive call. Email them. If you have friends in US who can WhatsApp call them or do a proper call to them, try that. I did that. So your US friend can keep you on WhatsApp call and a conference call to the landlord. Some jugaad like this. Yeah.
So I stay in Palisades and my landlord only communicates through emails. So they don't try to pick up phone calls at all. So if you guys have their email ID, it's better to just shoot them a mail. If they're still not responding, I think it would help if you call maintenance, or like you could call the apartment number itself and let them know. That's probably another thing you can do.
Okay. Actually, Lavanya, the next question is for you. Can you tell us how you registered for coursework when you came to USC?
Okay, sure. So when we first come in the first semester, we are already allocated some courses based on our prerequisites. So for this, it's for my course, which is computer science. I was already allocated algorithms and database systems, so that's what I chose. But I think from the upcoming semesters, what you do is there's something known as declearance. I think Aayush has a very nice detailed video about it as well. But what you have to do is when the registration opens for each department, there'll be a particular date. On that date, you will need to apply for whatever course you want to select for the upcoming semester. And usually you do get allotted what you prefer. But since the class size is pretty strong, I would advise you guys to make sure you're very vigilant on that day and apply for declearance as soon as possible. But that is the process. You get to choose what courses you want to select, apply for the declearance, and once it gets cleared and once you're good to register, then you can just go on the registration website and register for your courses. And that's the whole process itself. But don't worry about your first semester, because once you come here, you will get courses automatically assigned to you based on your course.
Right.
Yeah,
I think one of the things that students worry a lot is that the courses are getting filled and they will not get a course once they come to USC. Aayush, has that been your experience at all? Have you gotten the courses that you wanted?
Yes, I did. And just for the first semester, so USC will definitely send out an email regarding what they are planning. So in my semester, they had reserved the seat.
I just want to quickly interrupt. What Aayush said is true for the computer science department. Other departments may not actually write to you and assign you coursework and things like that, because the pressure on the number of students is not as much in other departments. But what Aayush is saying is particularly relevant to computer science. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I forgot the fact that they are different branches. But for fall, I believe, Swarnita, you were given a Google sheet to fill the options. So very important, keep an eye on your email. It is not 100% sure what USC will choose this semester, but you will get a course. You definitely will not be left without taking a course. And the course that you want, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, very good.
I would like to add here that if you're joining the Applied Data Science program, we have like three prerequisite courses that you need to waive out of if you want to start with the core courses. So basically, you will be sent out an email from the department maybe around in July or first week of August. So you basically will be given a Google form, and you will have to upload proof for showing that you have done these particular courses before in your undergrad, in your coursework, or you've taken some online courses that basically cover these particular foundational courses like Python and just a basic foundation course in data science on what it is and all of that. So you will be given an option to waive out of these courses, and once you waive out, they will assign you the core courses for the first semester automatically, so you don't have to worry about declearance in that sense. Yeah.
Fantastic. Here's an interesting question. Does ragging happen on the campus? Lavanya, you want to take that question?
Yeah, okay, sure. So this is something that I have not witnessed at all. And I'll actually like to tell you about the other spectrum. Our campus has so many inclusion activities going on, and it's very supportive community. I can't express enough how amazing it is to get emails on how they'd like to support. Like the most, like diversity and inclusion is something that you just see on campus itself. Like And you don't even have to go searching for it specifically. There will be some activities where people are speaking about just inclusion and making sure that there is everyone's taken care of. And I haven't personally seen any ragging at all. In fact, I think one of the culture shocks after coming here is that people are so nice. They're very helpful. Like anyone on campus, if you have any doubts or concerns, they go the extra mile just to make sure that you know what you asked, and they tell you everything that they know. So I've had an extremely nice experience here. So don't worry at all. I think ragging is not something that you would experience on campus. And that's something that at least personally, I have not come across at all. So yeah.
Okay. Does anyone have a friend who's doing VLSI design among the panelists? Because there's a question about the average class size of EE. All right, so maybe I'll just take that question. The VLSI program, actually USC is one of the pioneers of the VLSI master's coursework in the US. And it is not, I think the courses will be maybe about 100, 75, or maybe the one way to actually get a really accurate picture is to look at the schedule of courses for the previous semester, the fall semester, and take a look at the class sizes. How many, what was the course number and how many students actually registered in it. And then you'll get a very clear idea. And this goes for all the various departments. But in general, computer science is our largest department, and that is where a lot of the students are. Applied data science, what is your class sizes like, Swarnita?
So it depends on the particular course, but at least for the core courses, I can say that the number is a little higher. So in, say, machine learning, we had about 2 classes, like 2 batches of around 60 to 80 students each. And currently I'm taking data mining, and in that also we have like around 200 students in the class. But that's also because these courses are core data science courses, and even the computer science students want to take one of these courses, which is why the class size might be a little bit bigger. But this is the general number, like 100 to 200 would be a good number to take an estimate for classes.
Okay. So the next question is for those students who are kind of interested in doing research, right? Has anybody taken any directed research units among the 4 of you? No. Okay, so directed research units are where students are able to do a small project under a professor. This is for somebody who's interested in doing research. They can start off, they don't have to commit to a thesis option. Now, a lot of the master's students really want to graduate and hit the job market. Very few want to build up their research because they want to get into the PhD program. There are those students as well, but the numbers are not that high. So I think Smartha writes, how is the research culture at USC for CS master's students? I heard that generally masters in US are industrial based. Aayush, you want to take that?
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
So the question was, how is the research culture at USC for master's students? I've heard that generally master's students in masters in the US are generally industrial based.
I have not taken any research courses, but definitely what they've heard is true, but I don't have the exact answer. So
yeah. No, that's fine. A lot of the students who come, the master's program, they want to take coursework and hit the job market. They're not really interested in doing a PhD. But on the other hand, there is a very large, we are a research university, and there's a very, very large and active PhD cohort, and a lot of research goes on at USC. So there is the necessary coursework for that. And also, so if you want want to convert into a PhD program, it's possible, but it is very, very competitive because so you need to build up your research by taking the directed research units and then perhaps also, opting for the thesis option if this is something that you're really, really interested in. But for that, you need a faculty member to take you on. But it is rather competitive for that to happen. All right. Okay. So then I think there's a question here about research opportunities. None of the panelists are from a research background, so they won't be able to answer this question. Let me see what other questions we have. All right. So how did you end up getting an on-campus job? Could you start applying before arriving to the campus? Kiran, you want to take that question?
There's definitely a way to. I would first tell me what on-campus job I do. So, like everybody else on this panel, I'm also a graduate student ambassador for USC Viterbi. So I basically do 3 jobs. I'm a TA for two courses and 2 undergrad courses in Marshalls, and this is my 3rd job. So, and I didn't have one in fall, but then I went for it in spring. But there's definitely a way to get it before you come to USC. We have a platform called Connect SC, wherein all the job opportunities are posted on campus or internship or full-time. All of them are posted. But then you get an access to Connect SC once you register for the courses. So you have to be here. Register for the courses to get access to it. But there is also a way to connect with the professors beforehand, before you get here, to get an TA position or an RA position for an undergrad course or graduate course if you have a prior experience in that. So I would say if you're looking for a job, on-campus job, you can start before coming here, right? Shoot an email to your professor how your experience is relevant to your course, if you have taken a particular course in your undergrad, and that makes you a pretty good fit for a TA position. I think he'll definitely consider you and interview you. So that's one way. But then to get an access to Connect SC, you have to register for the classes and after you get here.
Okay. Lavanya, the next question is for you. Is there anything that students should do to prepare for USC and, maybe some competitive programming or machine learning or anything like that?
Yeah. So before I came here as well, this is the advice that I got from almost all the seniors. And I would also recommend it because once you come in, you take some time to settle in and just get used to your courses, and you might not be able to work on your personal projects and stay consistent with competitive programming. So if before you come here, if you have some time, I'd highly recommend do lead code and just keep practicing competitive programming in general. It'll really help a lot, not just from an internship point of view or like just to build your profile, but as the others mentioned, you will keep getting a lot of on-campus job opportunities. So as soon as we came, we also got one where we had to give an online test, an online coding test, and then you have certain screening rounds even for some on-campus jobs. So for jobs like that, it would really help if you already have the practice and the expertise before you come here. So I'd highly recommend go into competitive programming, and not just competitive programming, but just generally be well-versed with lead code and all the questions. There's a blind 65 list that is there, so you guys could go through that. And yeah, apart from that, if you have any particular courses you're interested in, I'd say it's always better to know about it more, so that you'll at least have an edge in class, and maybe your coursework would also be much easier if you do that. So yeah.
Okay. So is coming to computer science without a full-time work experience a disadvantage? Aayush?
Yes, no, it is not a disadvantage. I would say it's an advantage because you are in the mode of studying. I came after 4 years of work experience, and first 2-3 months were very difficult. I had no idea how to go back into the exam mode and assignment mode. Plus, I had taken algorithms. It's one of the typical classes at USC. So that is one side. But having said that, when you are applying for your jobs, you should have something substantial on the resume. It can be your projects, it can be your volunteer work, it can be your on-campus job, but you have to show some skills which they will look at and then call you for interviews, right? So people who don't have internship, you still have some time, work on some projects, like make a website, make a basic backend application if you're in computer science, and prepare a resume. I have given a video where there are few websites. Even USC gives a few resources. Look at them, study them before you come, because you will land here when August end, and that is the time when you have to also apply for internship. If you are late, you will not get back call before December. So be mentally prepared with that.
We are actually, coming to the end of the time that we have allotted for this, but I still know that we have a lot of questions. So what I'm going to do is take just a few more questions. I know that there are students who are interested in research, who have been asking questions about RA-ships, about the difference between directed research and thesis, and the ISI research internships and so on. I don't believe that the panelists have actually done any of this, but the difference between directed research and a thesis option is directed research is just a few units and a small project that you will do under a professor. A thesis option is something that you will do. It's a lot more of a commitment, and instead of taking coursework, you will actually do a major project under a professor, and it'll take you, over maybe 2 or 3 semesters to go ahead and do that. So that is the difference between the two. The ISI is Information Sciences Institute. It is a think tank that is affiliated to USC. It's many of the people there are faculty at USC. They're pretty amazing. So they have these internships, the same thing with ICT, Creative Technologies, Institute for Creative Technologies, and they also have research internships available. Do any of the panelists know anybody who's doing those research internships?
One of my friends are at ISI. Marina Dayrell, right?
Yeah. But you don't know much about it, right?
It's the same. They applied on the ISI website. They had multiple interviews. Okay. I think they had proper coding and normal interview like we have for on-campus job or internship. But yeah, it's like simple on-campus job.
Yeah, so what I do know is that they have, they're actually working on research projects with the professors. All right, so now I think there is a very nice question that someone asked. One second. Okay, so I think there's some questions about the visa interview. What is a comfortable amount to show during the visa interview for USC? Kiran, let me ask this question of Kiran.
I think we have to, if I'm not, and if you can,
yes, the I-20 amount, about 72.
Yeah, we have to show the I-20 amount, like for the entire course, for the entire program, I feel, for like 2 years.
Did you have to show double the amount? Did you do that?
Double the I-20 amount?
Yeah.
So I-20, I hope I'm not wrong, for the I-20 shows you the amount for a year. So you do.
No, what did you do? What did you do? I mean, it's not required that you show double the amount, but someone has the question about.
But yeah, I did, but it's always better to show it. I think a lot of us do have some loans that would be 50% of the amount you would show. And then I think you have to show the other assets as well. So you do have to, so I showed double, but then Sudha, you can correct me. Do we not have to show double?
You don't need to show double. No.
Okay.
All right. So Lavanya, what did you do?
Yeah, so I showed around 1.5 times the I-20 amount. And I showed it primarily with my loan sanction letter itself. I mean, honestly, they don't ask you for any proof if you're confident in your answers and you just let them know the figures and how you're funding yourself. But in case it is asked, it's always preferable to be ready with at least 1.5 times the I-20 amount. Yeah.
What about you, Swarnita?
Same, actually. I also showed 1.5 times just to, be on the safe side regarding the financial strength aspect, because even I have a loan. And but as Lavanya mentioned, if you're confident and if you know exactly from where your funds are going to be coming and how you plan to repay the loan, I believe that that shouldn't be an issue that deters your visa decision.
Okay. Ayush, what about you? Anything to add to this?
No, same 1.5 times. And for visa, you can include your property. So that can use any property, even the house that you're staying, you can show at that amount.
Okay. All right. So Palak asked a great question. Could all of you share any point which you feel would have been better if you knew before coming to USC? Is there anything, Ayush, you wished you had known?
Yes. So there's a program called MS Honors. If you get 4-pointer, that is 4 out of 4 CGPA, you get a chance to be a MS Honors student. And that is when you get to apply for a TA position. With the TA position, your semester, the next semester fees can be waived off. Even if I knew that, I would have studied a little more to get that MS Honors. Yeah. So students who are looking for TA, try to aim for MS Honors. All the details are there on the website, just Google it.
Okay. Swarnita, was there something that you wished you had known?
Like right now, the amount of stress and overwhelmed that I am, I feel like I should have, enjoyed more in my first semester. I feel like we are all in that, mindset, like right after coming, we have to apply for internships, we have to start with our coursework, we have to settle in also. I feel like we tend to forget that, we've done so much to get here. Like I believe, especially last year when we were coming during fall and even during spring, I think the visa issues were really stressful. And at a point, we were at a point where we were like, if we would even make it to the US at this point after deferring our admits. At least I deferred from fall 2020. So for me personally, I feel like living in the moment and enjoying the experience, I think that is something everybody tends to neglect, and that is something that everyone should, remember when they are here. Finally, they are here. They are getting to experience everything. They're getting to do all that they wanted to do a few months ago when they were, planning for all of this. So I believe that having fun, going to events and meeting different people, I think that is something that nobody tells you, because everyone's in that competitive mindset to get on with what's ahead. But being grateful and being in the moment, I think that is something that if I would have known earlier, I would have been in a better place.
No, it's not too late. You can still do that, I think.
Yes.
Lavanya, you want to add to that? What was
this is actually something I was told, but I neglected. So I'd like to reinforce with you guys. Just learn to cook really well, because once you come here, you just get carried away with how tasty food is. Like, you just really want to buy outside and spend all the money you earn on campus on just good food. So I would highly recommend just getting into one routine and cook with just cooking itself, so that it becomes practice and you don't need to really worry about it here. And also bring a lot of ready-made Indian food. Once you run out of it, which I already have, it's pretty sad, because you kind of tend to spend more just to buy the same stuff which you could have got for cheaper from India. So just small things like that, especially with food. Yeah, that's my biggest takeaway. Just make sure you're a master chef before coming here. It'll really help. Yeah.
Normal, sir.
Yeah, either you become a good cook or you get a roommate who's a great cook.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think it's another way to become really popular, right? If you know how to cook. All right, Kiran, you want to go next?
No, I think Swarnita pretty much beautifully answered the question. And as Lavanya said, learn to cook, guys. I do regret that I didn't do enough in that department before coming here. But then, yeah, that is something, at least learn to cook basic things so that you're good here, or else it might get difficult. And it's not a good idea to eat outside all the time, I would say. So, and you would definitely miss Indian food.
All right. So now I think I'm going to start wrapping up. And I'm going to ask each of you, what your final thoughts are, what your advice to the audience is. Aayush, go ahead and start first.
It's a new opportunity for everyone. You start afresh, right? You will be stressed for first semester. You will be converting money to dollars to rupees for the first 3 weeks. But after a year, trust me, things will settle down. And the moment you get an internship or a co-op or a job, you will forget everything. All that your hard work which you have done, everything will go, oh yeah, that's chill.
Aayush, did you get an internship?
Yes, I did.
Where did you do your internship?
I will be going to Salesforce in the summer.
Okay.
And then NVIDIA in spring. Oh, sorry, fall.
Okay, so this summer you're going to do Salesforce. When are you doing Salesforce? Okay.
Summer.
And NVIDIA as well, later on.
Fall.
Okay.
Fall. Co-op.
Okay, very good. I think the advice is, all the students in the audience have alternatives. Other universities that they possibly have and admit to. So I'd like your advice more focused on how they can make that decision.
Okay. So first, understand what is the highest priority. Few people might have a job as a priority. Few people might have education. Few people might have location. Write down top 5 or 4 priorities and rank the universities. For me, job, location, and networking was the most important, and USC stood out on top for all 3. Cost, I knew I could cover if I get an on-campus job, which luckily I did. So I would say list down the priorities, and if you take USC, network, location, and a brand value will stay with you for life. So this decision can never go wrong.
Okay, thank you. Swarnita, next.
I believe, as Aayush already mentioned, these are definitely the important points. And also for me personally, as I mentioned earlier, the coursework, because I wanted to stand out as compared to other university students who are also doing their masters in data science. I believe checking the nature of the coursework, if it is structured, if it is, a fixed coursework, or you have the option to take electives from different departments and make it your own program. I believe that is one more factor that you should definitely consider. And at the same time, one thing I would like to add is, as everyone else mentioned about the cooking and everything coming in from there, taking care of both your physical and mental health is extremely important. Not neglecting that and just being, using resources. USC also has resources for taking care of your mental health. We have these drop-in appointments to talk with counselors and all of that. So there are resources that you should definitely make use of, and make sure that you're healthy so that you are able to tackle each day in the best possible way. So that is something that I want to add as an advice to everyone.
Thanks, Swarnita. Lavanya, you next.
So one thing I like to say is that as much as all of us have shared our experience and have told you how it's been for us, honestly, your master's journey is really going to be your own. And I would highly advise, don't just listen to somebody say it's difficult and then make your decision based on that. At the same time, don't listen to someone saying it's extremely easy and then get complacent with that and think that you could also go through with it. Just peer pressure is something that you guys should not get into at this stage, I think, especially with masters, because once you come here, you are on your own. As much as you have resources, as much as you have people helping you, that is definitely there. You will have a lot of support, and don't be afraid to ask for help at all. But at the same time, it's your grades, it's your career, and it's your goals. So just focus on what you think is best for you, not because someone else is suggesting that this will work out, especially with courses and the work that you do. So just make sure you just stay true to yourself once you come here, and just focus on what you want. And I think you'll be good to go. It's genuinely yes, someone saying overcome FOMO. That's exactly what it is. Don't overcome FOMO. Don't even feed your thoughts into that. Just focus on what you want. Yeah, that's about it. That's what I'd say.
Kiran, what's your advice to students? Should they come to USC, and why?
I think rest of the panelists gave you guys pretty much a great advice in all the aspects. But I would say don't get overwhelmed, guys, by all the work you would have to do when you get here. I think masters, the 2 years which you're going to be in here, enjoy the process, enjoy your coursework. I mean, yes, you will have to grind through for these 2 years, and then I think it would be worth it after it. So not just, I would say prepare beforehand, but then enjoy the entire 2 years, because you don't want to regret after 2 years and say, I could have done this, but I didn't. So you don't want to feel that. So I think don't just get overwhelmed by all the things you would have to do, but then, yeah, enjoy these 2 years, because I think these 2 years in USA, in USC are going to be one of your memorable, journeys. Yeah.
That's what I hear from alumni all the time, that it was the best years of their lives. All right. I think, there's so many more questions that we need to cover, but on the other hand, we don't have that much time. All right. I think there was one question that talked about how specifically Alumni Network helped you. Aayush, can you take that question?
Yes. So they helped me in 2 ways. First is prepare for my interviews. I did, I think, 4 or 5 informal interviews to prepare my tell me something about yourself answer, and to reach out and get referrals in various companies, because a referral does help.
Okay. All right. So Smartha asked, is it really worth it to come to USC? I'm already doing my MTech in IIIT Hyderabad. Aayush, you want to take that?
I think that's a very personal choice. If they have, if there are courses which she or he wants to study, then definitely you should come. But if they, it's a very personal choice.
Yeah, no, I think it depends on what your long-term goals are. I think if you want to work in the US, then one way to get a foothold into the job market is to do a master's at a university. The style of teaching is different. The coursework is different. There is a big difference in the kind of coursework. I am familiar with IIIT as well, but there is a difference. And so it depends actually on the coursework and, what your goals are in terms of jobs. It would be very difficult for you to get that experience from India. It's perhaps possible for you to get a job in India and then transfer to the US, but those opportunities are few and far in between. But coming to USC or coming to any other university, it's more mainstream that you will get access to the job market. All right. So any I'm not able to take, there were a lot of questions about class sizes. I think, like I said, the computer science is our largest department. The 4 core classes are very large. And then once those 4 classes are done, the number of the class sizes tend to go down. ECE is our second largest department. And again, but the course sizes over there are much smaller. I think it would be more in the range of 75, 100, 120, 30, depending on some of the core classes. And then as you get to the advanced level ECE, also the numbers go down. Engineering management, aerospace engineering, cyber security, chemical engineering, all of these departments, the class sizes are not very large. So that is the story. I think someone had a specific question about the ML and the DS program in ECE. I don't know if any of you have any knowledge of that. Probably not. Okay. All right. So thank you so much to the panelists for joining us today. We need to end today's session. All of you should please give them, I wish it was in person and that you could give them a big round of applause, but do show your appreciation to them one way or the other. Thank you so much, Kiran. You've done a fantastic job. Thank you, Lavanya. Thank you, Swarnita and Aayush. It was so nice of you to reach out this morning, and I'm so glad you were able to join this. So Divangna at the back, thank you so much for all your help as well. You want to say a few words, Divangna?
Well, there's not much for me left to say after these amazing panelists. I want to actually thank all of you. I know how busy everyone is, and still you guys take time. I think that's a real showcase of the Trojan spirit, that that everyone wants to help everyone else. I think that's something that I've definitely seen at USC and at Viterbi. So thanks to all of you, and thanks for everyone to join. Please listen to what everyone has to say, but also make your own decisions. And we're always here to help you in any objective way we can. So thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you all. Good night. I appreciate it very much. And thank you to the audience for patiently listening to us. Good night. And good day to the people from LA. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
For
Thanks,
having
Sudha,
us.
for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Divangna, you can shut it down.